Salutations, everyone, and welcome to the live stream show hosted by yours truly, Eric Smith, and Jamal Lawrence over there to your left.
Yo.
Together, we make the Colts Cast, a podcast delivering you anything and everything Indianapolis Colts. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on any platform, YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Our Twitter handle is at the Colts Cast. We are again partnering up with Bleacher Report today. So let's get right into it. Colts Monday NFL Topical. What are we going to talk about on a Monday? There ain't nothing to talk about. We already talked about everything. Yes. No, there's everything to talk about with the Colts. Let's start off with the playoff picture. Everything I felt like went right yesterday in terms of the AFC playoff picture for us. It got brighter with the win over the Las Vegas Raiders, along with the Cincinnati Bengals taking that L in Kansas City. So that sets us up for the ultimate. And I called this a week ago. I said this matchup was going to mean everything. This ultimate matchup with the Houston Texans on Saturday. Yes, Saturday. We got flexed to prime time at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be awesome. Things are simple for both teams. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's all you got to do, right? You just got to win a football game.
Yes, sir.
No, that's a lot. Now, there is a way we can win the AFC South as well. Colts can do that by, of course, winning against Houston, but Jacksonville taking a loss in Tennessee. And I could very well see this happening. I know the Jaguars just shut out the Carolina Panthers, but it's the Carolina Panthers. So we're just going to write that one off. I still think the Jaguars are too inconsistent a team to be anywhat formidable, even though we lost them twice. But however, we can clinch a playoff berth with a win against the Texans. So right now, Jamal, I don't know if you got anything to talk about on topic, but I am going to share my screen to show the NFL.com playoff picture, just so there's a visual for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. And while you got that pulled up, I just want to, point out to everybody, there are a couple of ways right now, based off of what you just mentioned, Eric. Of course, we know winning the AFC South is going to take us to beat the Texans as well as the Jags losing. So that'll get us that number 4 seed. But we have a chance to be the number 6 seed as well. And it could happen if we beat the Texans, Jags win, and the Bills have to lose. We could jump into that number 6 seed spot. Or we could ride tight at that 7 seed, of course, with the win versus the Texans, and the Jags and the Bills both win. So like you mentioned, I mean, the ball's in our court, winning we're in. Listen, as much as I would love that number 4 seed, hey, as long as we get this dub on Saturday in primetime football, I care about being in the playoffs. You see that 54% right there, that 7 seed for us. I just want to be in the playoffs, man. We got to get there.
Oh yeah. 54% chance. And I mean, that's pretty accurate. Look, I mean, we just have to win. So it's basically like a coin flip. We both have the same record. It's an AFC South divisional matchup. It's everything that we could ever hope for as just football fans. But still, I do want this dub. And we could very well, I mean, so we could have which seed? I mean, we could be 7, we could be 6, but we could be like 3 or 4, right?
Yeah, 4. We could be 4 if the Jags take the L and we get the dub against the Texans.
Yeah.
We could bump up to 4 and have that home game against the Browns more than likely. Hey, Lucas Oil will be jumping. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yo, ball don't lie.
listen to all Colts fans out there. Yo, they emailed me the other day about the tickets, about securing your playoff tickets. Hey, listen, let the Jaguars lose to the Titans and then we beat the man. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Exciting.
That would be awesome. I would love to play I mean, even though Joe Flacco was playing at an X-Men type of level the other day, I would love a matchup with the Browns as the first playoff matchup. We got some unfinished business with them. We're gonna have the right refs in that game. It's gonna be different. But look, that's the playoff picture for the NFL on NFL.com. I'll be honest. I want to win an AFC South title. That would be amazing. We haven't done that since 2014. 2014. Yeah, it's
a long time.
It's been almost a decade. We're talking about Andrew Luck era type of time that it's been. Chuck Pagano, T.Y. Hilton, Anthony Castan. It's been a minute. Y'all know. But the most important prize here, to me, even if we don't get the AFC South, it's a chance to make a run in the playoffs, because really all of that doesn't matter. I know seeding and home field advantage matters, but really just punching your ticket in and saying, look, we have a chance. It's one game elimination, boom, boom. A win is all that matters come Saturday. We control our own destiny. I don't even want to think about like chances of a tie or anything like that. I'm not even looking at that, because that ain't gonna happen. Like, because Shane Steichen, who loves to go for it, who's aggressive, who's always just approaching it like it's 4-down territory. I think he ain't gonna let it end in a tie. He either gonna take the dub or take a loss, whether it's overtime, something like that. Like, it's gonna come down to the final play. But chances are pretty good, because we've been on a tear at Lucas Oil Stadium recently. We've won the last 3 there. So I feel pretty confident going into this matchup. I don't know about you, Jamal, but I mean, we can ask everybody who's tuning in right now, like, how confident are you with the Colts going into a must-win game against the Texans? How do you feel, Jamal?
Hey, after hearing Shane Steichen's victory speech last night, I don't know how you can't be confident. My man came in the locker room, set the tempo with them, and I want to see the unedited version. I want to hear all the bleeps, because that right there, that's that fire, that serious talk. These dudes, everyone stood at attention when he was in there giving his speech, and they knew what time it was. He set the tempo, said, we got to come in here. We know what the game plan is for next week. We got to play our toughest game, our hardest game. And I'm just paraphrasing what he said. I'm not saying direct quotes, because I don't remember exactly what he said. But he just let the team know that y'all got one job, and it starts today. Yesterday's win is done. Everything is done. We know that the game is on Saturday. Preparation, practice, everybody getting healthy. It has to be right, because this is the ticket to paradise right here. So they got to come out there and go as hard as they can. And I appreciate Steichen for being that dog, because sometimes so much we see in interviews, he's not a very like animated person. He's kind of quiet, he's reserved. So to see him get that energy behind the scenes, how live he keeps it in the locker room and the weight room and the meeting rooms, pregame speech. Hey, Shane Steichen holds him to a high standard. And with what he said, that just let me know that he wants to win. They want to win. And I know that we're going to get this dub. The Colts got this dub.
I don't remember ever seeing these victory chants and speeches post game last year.
Right. Game, guys.
I don't remember it. Maybe I'm kind of blocking it out, because it was such a forgettable season. But also, this locker room just looks completely different. Shane Steichen's got these boys right. And we're at home. We're not on the road. We're at home. This is going to be an amazing game. I'm super excited for it. But Jamal, I mean, how confident are you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling extremely confident. Extremely confident. And there's for more reasons than one. I mean, right now, like you said, we're riding this high. Our boys know what's on the line. And I just trust our players. We saw what happened with the Raiders game when the defense was there. Were there some holes in the defense? Yeah. Did they get exploited on a couple plays? Yeah. But it was also against Devontae Adams. I don't care what you say. Any team is going to be hard to cover Devontae Adams. Call it what you want. But our defense showed up yesterday and played hard the entire time. Our offense showed up. JT was out there getting his groove on. Will Mallory, Josh Downs, everyone showed up, and we had a collectively good game over a team that's been riding high. The Raiders had what? They were coming off just back-to-back wins right there. They're riding high, and we shut it down at home. I have full confidence that going into this game against the Texans, we can get this sweep on them, because we all remember. I'll be the first person to tell you, I don't know if there was a higher high than Game 2 last year. Of course, when we think about what was going on in that game, Eric, that was a game where Anthony Richardson, our rookie quarterback, was in there, hyped us up with 2 rushing touchdowns in the first quarter. Then he got a concussion. Minshew had to step in there, got a passing touchdown. Zach Moss had himself of a game, had a touchdown, while JT was out on IR and still doing contract disputes. And our defense rattled up CJ Stroud with 6 sacks in that game. Now let's not be rude to CJ Stroud, because we do know he had a baller game too for himself. I think he threw like 384 and 2 touchdowns. He had himself a game. But I'm saying all those past stats from game one to tell y'all we were riding it crazy high because it was electrifying time for the Indianapolis Colts. And right now, this week against the Texans, again, it's even bigger than that week because we know what the end goal is. So I got full confidence in what the Colts are about to bring to the table for this game. Defense is going to have to play absolutely lights out. Shane Steichen will be in his bag this week. I can guarantee you that much. And it's just going to, I mean, Eric, I'm going to let you talk, but I just know that it's going to be a crazy, crazy game full of exciting times.
Yeah, we tore the Texans up week 2 last year. I can't believe we're saying, when you said last year, I was sitting there like, why are we talking about last season?
I meant to say at the beginning. Like,
I mean, you're technically right. It was last year. So last
Happy
year,
New
week
Year.
2, Happy New Year, everyone. We tore the Texans up. Like you said, CJ Stroud, I mean, he almost threw for 400 yards. I also think, Gus Bradley, he likes to show that soft coverage late in the game. It was very early to me because it was the third quarter that they were lighting us up. But yeah, let's talk about it because Anthony Richardson, I mean, he was lights out. I mean, he scored like 2 touchdowns in like 2 seconds. It was crazy. Gardner Minshew came in, of course, when Richardson went down with the concussion symptoms after he got hit in the end zone. And Minshew lit it up. When he comes off the bench, I don't know. He's just like surefire ready. I mean, he 19 for 23, 171 yards and touchdown. That's as much as you can ask for Minshew. That man killed it. Zach Moss, he hates the Texans for some reason. He just absolutely destroys them. So yeah, this was a killer game from start to finish. I feel like we never let off the gas pedal until the very end, but we went up in the first half 28-10, I believe. But I feel like the keys to this matchup, what we have to do, and there's 2 things I feel like is going to be golden for this Colts team. So this offensive line, they have to be an elite unit come Saturday. Gardner Minshew, when he has a clean pocket, I mean, he's good. When any quarterback has a clean pocket, they are good to great to amazing. And we know Minshew, he had a clean pocket for most of the game against the Raiders and got to experience a 15 for 23 game. For 224 passing yards, a touchdown, no turnovers, none of that. We know what happens when there's not a clean pocket for Minshew. Nothing goes right. It's troubling. He gets rattled. Happy feet ensues. Mistakes happen. And, a lot of different quarterbacks are better against pressure. Like, I don't know, like Justin Herbert, he's better against pressure, even like Mahomes, things like that. So, but Minshew is not. we know that. And that's one of his weaknesses. So, we talked about last episode on the Colts cast. We talked about how good Quentin Nelson was last game. And he's been good all throughout. He sometimes has those average games, and we see him fall from elite to that average level, and we start criticizing him. But you know who we didn't talk about?
Who's that?
We didn't talk about Braden Smith, really, or Bernard Ryman. Both of our tackles who absolutely held it down against this D-line, specifically Max Crosby, who, people talk about, he's like a top 5 edge rusher. So Crosby was a non-factor essentially yesterday. He had 6 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, a QB hit. Nothing crazy. He didn't dominate, and I'm satisfied with that. And it starts with Braden Smith coming back from injury because we know how good he is when he's on the field, when he's healthy. But shout out to Bernard Ryman. They got this pick right. And we talked about him last year. He was a rookie. He struggled a little bit, but he got better and better down the stretch. And now, I mean, Ryman, he is a great left tackle. And I mean, shout out to Chris Ballard. Shout out to this coaching crew. Shout out to Ryman as well, just for getting to that status. Like, he's one of our best offensive linemen. I'm gonna be straight up. He really is. And Braden Smith is great too. Like, when this offensive line as a whole is there, it's cohesive. it's really good. So not only am I excited about next year, the potential Richardson can have with a clean pocket. Oh my God. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But for the 2023 season, we need Minshew to have a clean pocket, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. And I'm glad you mentioned Ryman because his growth has been like exponential for us throughout since last season, his rookie season. And guess what, y'all? He still has other development to go on. He's gonna get better. He's gonna get better. The only thing that will get you better out there is A, better coaching, B, better practice, and C, better leadership around you. And he has the leaders around him. He has Quentin Nelson, he has Ryan Kelly, he has Braden Smith, all solidified at their positions. Better coaching. He has Tony Sperano Jr. Now that means all he has to do is put himself out there and continue to better himself, which I know he will. He will continue to get better. And as you mentioned, Eric, when this group is cohesive, it is solid. It is good. Minshew literally had ample time to throw here for us over the game on yesterday. I think it was 1 sack we gave up yesterday. I believe it was something like that. Listen, and he only had to throw the ball 23 times.
That's a dub.
And it's a dub. It's a dub. No mistakes made because he had a chance to sit back there, think about the progressions, and get the ball out. All we have to do is have this offensive line for one step up for you, like you said. I'm glad you mentioned that, key, because that literally sets the tempo for the game for us. It opens up the run game for us. It opens up the pass game for us. It opens up the RPO for us, all based off of solely their play from the very first play. And when they can stop a strong defensive lineman like Max Crosby, I'm not too worried about what the Texans defensive line is going to bring to the table for us. So,
Will Anderson, though, we got to stop him.
Yeah, he's a dog.
Speaking of Ryan Kelly, we need him healthy for Saturday.
Absolutely.
He went down with ankle injury because Wesley French downgrade.
Mm-hmm.
But my second key to this dub for the Colts, we got one, we need an elite offensive line group, but two, we have to generate pressure on the defensive side. We have to look. One of the things Scout said about CJ Stroud, what was it? How pressure affects his game negatively. I still believe that to be the case. Although he's been sensational, through his rookie campaign. He's probably going to win Rookie of the Year. But he's not unbeatable. He's not. The Indianapolis Colts already proved that back in week 2. What did we do right in that game, Jamal? You already talked about it. 6 sacks. We got to Stroud, even though he threw for a lot of yards, in the second half. We got to Stroud. We never let our foot off the accelerator. Anthony Richardson's dynamic play. So we're missing some of that. We can't replace Richardson right now. But we got to Stroud. We got pressure on him. And another example of that is how the New York Jets just shut down Stroud just a few weeks ago. Probably a lot of people don't talk about this game because it was the Jets. They're not going anywhere. But the Jets defense
is raw.
Top 10 unit, top 5 arguably. Stroud didn't go over 100 passing yards. Now, I know he got hurt late in the 4th, but there was only about 2 drives left where he didn't play, where Davis Mills took over. So Stroud played virtually the entire game. Didn't go over 100 passing yards. 100 passing yards for CJ Stroud. No, come on, man. Now, the Jets do have an incredibly talented secondary with guys like Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed. They've been playing at a phenomenal level this year. Man, the limbs I would give for a lockdown corner like Sauce Gardner. They redo that draft when he got drafted. I would say if they mulligan, Sauce Gardner goes number 1. Jeez. And anyway, the Jets, they aren't a heavy blitzing team, just like us. I won't say they have a similar defense, but like as far as blitz rate, they kind of take the same light blitzing approach. They 4-man rush because they have good 4-man rush up front, like Quentin Williams, people like that. What we are missing, though, on our squad when we compare it to their squad is that elite secondary.
Mm-hmm.
We do not have an elite secondary. I'm just throw that on the table. It's not there. But we do have an above average defensive front. Samson Ibukum, Kwity Paye, DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart. These are guys that have been having a phenomenal year. They've been playing great, not always consistently great, but the games they do play and click on all cylinders, boy, they are killing it.
Yeah.
They will be the keys to victory in this matchup. If they can get to Stroud, get to the quarterback, disrupt the throw, mess with that route timing. It's going to be a long day for this Texans offense, and I'm super excited for this matchup.
Absolutely. And just to cap off, like with that defensive line, I mean, we got to remember, we're talking about a team, we got 49 total sacks between these guys, man. 5th in the league right now. So when they can get back there and when they can generate that pressure on the quarterback, it helps us out tremendously. So we need these dudes to step up and ball out like we know they can, because we talked about them since day one of the season. We mentioned as players continue to go down in the secondary, how important it's going to be for our most vetted group on the defense, which is our defensive line. They had to step up, and they have done that all year long. Now, has it worked in our favor every single game? Absolutely not. We've seen games where we've had 4, 5, 6 sacks and we've lost. But we've also seen games where we've had 0 and we've won. So I say that because these guys know how to play their position. They play it well. So we just need a little bit more of a boost to help rattle Stroud as early as possible. And I think that we can control this game. And I'm going to tell you right now, Eric, me personally, I don't know how you think the game is going to be determined. I think the Colts going to get this one, control it majority of the game. I think we come out the gate heavy. Majority of the game, Colts are in control of this game. I don't know what you or everybody else feels, but tell me how you feel.
It's going to come down to the final drive.
Final drive?
Oh yeah. I don't think Stroud's been in this situation before. Lost that big playoff game in college football with Georgia, just by the last play, just by a kick that was missed. So I'm thinking it goes down to the final drive. Now that's going to be exciting because we're going to be jumping out of our boots for that game.
Oh yeah.
I hope we control majority of the game and go into the playoffs, with high hopes, with a lot of motivation. But I ain't playing with these Texans. They're a solid team, and I think it's going to come down to that fourth quarter, man.
For sure. And that's where it's important for us to make sure we get points on the board every single drive that we can. Hey, if that means Matt Gay has to earn his dollars and kick a 58-yard field goal, is what it is. Like we need to make sure we're in position to get points on the board every single time, because if we don't, I think you're right. It will come down to that final drive, a matter of who gets the ball last. So we got to get points on the board every time.
Hey, we're going to be all right, though.
Yes, sir.
Hey, let us know what y'all think in the comments. We want the Colts to win, and we still think they will.
Oh, yeah.
But it is, prime time. When was the last time we've been on prime time?
Woo. Been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's
going
to be great, though. I just want to say go Colts. This is what we want to control our destiny. And we have a chance coming this Saturday. It's going to be awesome. That's all I got, Jamal.
It's all for me. Hey, go Colts all day.
Hey, go Colts. Hey, thank you for tuning in to us with the live stream. Brought to you by Bleacher Report, of course. We partner up with them occasionally to give you guys that Indianapolis Colts content. But if you're interested in our podcast, again, we are the Colts Cast. Check us out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any platform you use to listen to podcasts. And we'll see y'all later. Go Colts.
Go Colts. Happy New Year. I'll take care.